Hey, so coming to you from Bear Lake in Garden City, Utah. And I'm going to be walking around, getting some exercise in because it is cold and the temptation is to stay inside. You can kind of see the dock, and what you can kind of see over there is that in each slip they're actually frozen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mini series. We had one of our followers on these videos that we do was asking what metrics should you use and how quickly do you make a decision that it's not working out with an employee. And a lot of you, as you're establishing the culture, is actually a lot of us, let's just say it this way, as you're establishing culture, as you build a new team, as you launch a new product, as you launch a new company, who you have on the team with you matters immensely. And so these decisions on who stays and who doesn't stay affect your culture daily. Really interesting study on this. There was a study done, I actually can't even remember the universities anymore. I believe it was Northwestern, but don't quote me on that. One of the top business universities out there have been partnered with another university. I think that one was Kellogg. But anyway, what they found is that the effects of putting a new hire next to a negative employee, or any employee next to another negative employee, anybody within 10 meters, productivity drops by 10%. So you can think about it. If you got a rep that's carrying $1 million quota, you're losing $100,000 of ARR per year because they're next to a negative employee. The flip side of that, but if you get rid of that employee who's negative, not performing, the productivity replaces itself and it comes back within, I believe it was like 2 months or something like that. Now, the effects of a positive employee that's highly productive next to your new hire, those are, I believe it was a 15% climb, and they last for the entire career of that employee with you. So they will be 15% better off because you put them next to a hardworking, positive employee that was a good example. So anyway, that's just a little bit of emphasis. The first job that I'm going to dig into is SDRs. SDR is a program that when I talk to my clients, it's the number one job that people are hiring for and then shut down. Then hire again because it's like, oh, we got to get this right this time. And then they shut it down again. And why do they do that? Because they make the decisions in bulk instead of more surgically focusing on what actually matters with the team. And actually, I'm walking by. It's pretty cool. You can see the ice. My kiddos are playing on it. Guys, don't get too deep on the ice. I don't want anybody going more than 1 meter in. So anyway, sorry for that on the video, but so SDR programs are getting started. They're shutting down. And the reason why is because the leaders don't pay attention to the individual. They pay attention to the bulk process. It's like, this program's not working. I got to shut it down. And, but I'm told everybody we got to go start it. So here are the metrics you need to pay attention to. First thing, month one, they need to master whatever your product skill set is that you're going to do. So you need to have some form of product certification, and they need to be able to pass that within month one. The second thing they need to be able to do is to pass systems. So you need to validate that they've learned enough of how to use the CRM. They are doing it properly. They need to know how to log their calls, their meeting set, all of those. If by the end of month one and you made it clear this was the outline, they're not producing, they're not doing those things, you should be checking in at week one. If they haven't made the progress expected, correct it. Week 2, check again. Week 3, check again. Week 4, if they're still not there, they're not going to get it. And it is time to cut bait with that human being. So you're not giving up and starting over on the SDR program. You're saying if that individual in their month 1 can't master my product, can't understand it, then it's time to go. Same thing with the CRM. Month 2, they now need to be able to apply that knowledge and be able to hit their call metrics. Again, you're checking at week 1 in month 2, week 2 in month 2, week 3 and week 4. And if by the end of month 2, they're not able to make the call numbers, the email numbers, and the social touch numbers that you expect from them, again, it's time to let go. Month 3, now's when you need to start getting into the first time that it's a real skill that's actually challenging. And I give people 2 months to go in and learn this one. And what that is overcoming objections. And so now what you need to go in and see is within 2 months, so month 3 and month 4, can you get them to 20% overcoming objections? So do they get people to answer the phone? They need to get that to 10%. And that could be, they could be responding, calling them back. They could be actually answering the call. They could be emailing them back or replying to the social touch, but some form of response. You need to get that to 10%. And then the next thing you need to do is get to where they can overcome at least 1 in 5 objections. So somebody answers and they do it. You do that over the first 4 months at a human being by human being level, you're going to build a very stable and reliable SDR motion. So those are the SDR metrics. On top of that, like I talked about, you don't want negative employees. They're talking poorly about your company. Privately, publicly. Privately, and they're willing to work with you on it, awesome. Publicly, it's a disaster. It's not worth having those employees. And then those are the metrics on the SDR program.